Good evening and hello. Hoping that your week has started well. It is 28th of March and this is the last Monday of this month. We have been marching all the way since we started the month of March, and it's kinda the last 2 weeks you have been marching and talking about anger. And we continue with that topic, and tonight we are doing Road to Anger. Yes, karibuni sana. This is the city gate, and this is where we ensure that our city gates are well manned up. There is nothing that can leave the city. Everything that is supposed to remain in the city, it is still there. Nothing will come out and nothing ill will come in. And we come to you every Monday from 8 p.m. And I don't come alone. I'm always with 4 suspects. But tonight, I am having the 3 musketeers, because one suspect, I don't know whether he got angry after last Monday's show. Simon K is away. I don't know whether it is anger or what is it. But I have the 3 musketeers. And from my...
Mkono.
And from my right...
Yes.
And alikuwa mtoro last Monday. But tonight he is in.
Nimeacha makasiriko.
Umeacha makasiriko? Hii mwaka hataki makasiriko.
Makasiriko kando.
Karibu.
Asante.
Good to have you here.
Good to be here too.
Yes.
Yes, my name is Pastor Gigi. I'm so excited to be back and ready to talk about anger. I don't know if it's anger or anger. Yeah?
It depends with where you went to school. Whether you went to...
I went to the bush school.
Primary or primary?
DEB.
Where did you go?
DEB.
Pre or pri?
DEB. District Educational Board Primary School.
Pre or pri?
Primary.
Primary.
Yes,
Okay.
it's a joy to be back.
Yes.
Yes, and I'm ready for the conversation.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
I can see you're not angry.
Yes, I'm not angry, and I'm
Not
not
angry.
I'm
My
not
guy.
hungry, and I'm not angry. You see, they say a hungry man is an angry man.
No, that is different.
And an angry man is also an angry man.
Yes.
Hey.
So,
Wow, karibu sana.
yes, I'm excited.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Asante.
We really missed you last Monday.
I missed you too. Unfortunately, I was caught up in issues that I couldn't avoid.
Okay.
So I had to be away, but I'm back.
Yes.
And I watched you as you discussed.
Wow. Thank you.
Maybe I was almost going to say the same thing, that maybe Kyari is angry because of the way you mishandled him.
You mishandled that man.
We handled him the right way.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm glad that we are back.
Yes.
Unfortunately, without him, we would still have served him the same medicine. But of course, he had many stories that we enjoyed, that were in touch with the topic of the day.
Yes.
And I believe it's a great time. My name is Warui. You are author and you mentor. And we are here to talk about anger, and I hope nobody is angry.
Yes.
Especially with the results having been released.
I was headed there.
Yeah, there's some parents who are happy and excited.
Yes.
Because their children have done well. But we also have some parents who could be angry.
Yes.
And they are feeling like this child has disgraced them.
Yes.
And we want to tell them tonight,
Yes.
don't be angry.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
And
not time to be
we
angry.
also want to speak to those boys. Maybe you have scored lower marks, but I want to tell you that your tomorrow is still great.
Yes.
Because your future does not depend on this exam. You see? And so keep it up, keep trying. This is a story I always tell. I have this friend of mine who scored A in KCSE. And after clearing Form 4, he joined African Nazarene University. And he went to do parallel degree. And I am telling you, that guy alitoka akiwa na first
class honors.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm telling you.
It's possible.
But he had A. He believed in himself. And so, and
A or E?
It is that one. A is E. A is E.
Kitu changanya hapa. Ati yadi
You know, we are in...
Siku zetu
we are in
hakukuwa
the
vitu
era
kama,
of...
in Kiswahili it is called eh.
He is not speaking Swahili,
Yes.
He could have called it in Kiswahili and
but he is speaking
Not
in English.
Not Swahili, but that is, it sound A.
I know when you went to school, so don't try to come and twist it. Because you say it even in our way. So allow your children to.
I agree with all of us that we need not to be angry with the results.
Yes.
Even if they didn't come out like we expected. Because results are just one parameter amongst many that are used to define who we become.
Yes.
And truth be told, the levels of education are totally different.
Yeah.
Primary school and high school and university are totally different. And as much as we use results of KCPE to determine who goes to which school, I can guarantee you chances are that somebody got very low marks in primary school. But by the time they are finishing Form 4, they will end up being among the best.
Exactly.
I can confidently tell you that. I went through a school, said I schooled in the bush, but I went through a school where the guy that used to lead us in high school, we were 182 boys in the same class, and the guy that used to lead us, and I want to imagine he could be watching, you know, today he's a medical doctor, but he was among the last 5 to be admitted into that school, and it was those giant provincial schools that used to appear among the top 10 those days. If you listed us on the list of admission, he was among the last 5. You know, I obviously had beaten him with a lot of marks. But I guarantee you, we landed into Giri school, and from the day we entered school, he became number 1.
Wow.
And throughout, until KCSE, he was among the top. So that qualified him to go to the University of Nairobi and become a medical doctor.
Yes.
Exactly.
So let's not be angry about the results, boys and girls, and parents. Let's also not be angry with our children, like Reverend has said, because marks are just marks.
Yes.
And that does not mean that their future is doomed.
No.
They will still make it. There are very many ways of making it up there. Yes.
And I want Warui to speak to fathers.
Yes.
Because this show is about men.
Yes.
And I want you to speak to fathers who could be mad as you are speaking right now because of what maybe the son has got. Speak to that man.
Yeah. What I would want to tell this man is that this exam has been done. The results have been released. There's very little that you will change by your harsh words, by you being hard on that young soul. That child now requires warmth, requires encouragement, requires assurance that the future is still bright and that they still can make it and become the best that they can ever become because God is together with them. And therefore we need to bury the past. And what you as a man needs to do now is to provide leadership. Tomorrow, rise up early in the morning, pick your phone, call 2 or 3 people, get that child the best school that you can. The best school that you can. Pray to God and hit the road running. Get that child the best school that you can, encourage them, give them assurance, and I want to tell you, that child will make you proud in the future.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. So to all parents out there, kindly do not start making noise to these young boys and girls.
And I think, Willie, there's a very big problem when parents now project that anger to their children because it could have lifetime effect on the life of that young man. As fathers, because fathers are the ones that usually become very harsh when they are annoyed. You know, let's desist from speaking words out of anger that can affect our children in the future just because of results. Whether results are good or bad, if they are good, we thank God. If they are bad, it's unfortunate, but let's take it. And let's not be harsh. Let's not speak words that are going to be mean, to demean that boy. Let's not speak words that are going to ruin the self-esteem of this young man. Let's not tell them that they are good for nothing. You know, because the words that you speak into your life, into the life of your child, have got power to make that boy become.
Yes.
So if you speak bad words, they will actually grow up knowing that even my father knows I am good for nothing.
Yeah.
Even if I try my best, my father can never see it. My father will always be annoyed with me. You know, let's try, like Reverend has said, not to use harsh words, but do what we need to do to either make the situation better or to make the son feel that they are accepted and comfortable, so that they are able to pick themselves up and move.
Wow.
Yes.
So let us encourage them. Let us encourage them. You don't know what holds or what
The future holds for that
them.
child.
Yes, you don't
Yes.
know.
Yes.
So please do not judge them because they have scored lower marks.
Yes.
And what the
Because-
parents should realize is that that child's soul is already crushed.
Yes.
The moment the marks were announced, and that boy, that girl did not achieve the marks they desired, they are already weeping, they are already wounded in their hearts. Don't make the wound worse.
Yes.
Don't
Bite the wood, apply oil, encourage that child, hug them warmly.
Yes.
Hug them. Literally, I'm saying, if you're there and seated with your daughter and your son, and they did not perform well, call them where you are. Hug them strongly and warmly, and
But
tell
some
them,
men don't believe in
daughter,
hugging.
son, I love you. Man,
Yes.
if you don't hug, you know what I've always told people?
Yes.
That some of our children go astray, looking for what we have
We
denied
have
them.
Yes.
denied them. Yes.
That if I, like now I have a daughter, I have to keep hugging them. I have to keep holding them.
Yes.
They will never desire another man's embrace before the time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But when you don't give your
if
daughter a
another
hug,
man tries to come,
Yes, they
they
can't-
feel like, I mean,
yeah,
this
this
is
is something I already have.
dad does this every
Yes,
day. So
yeah.
I mean,
So you can't hug
What
me.
are you
and,
trying to show me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's fathers, please, and especially your daughters, but also your sons. Hug them, and hug them again.
yes.
3
And
times.
allow
Yes.
me to say to all the parents there whom your child has scored lower marks, let me say this: that is not death sentence.
No, it's not.
It is not. So encourage them and let them keep on keeping on.
Yes.
Great.
So how can we be angry and we don't sin?
Wow. May I take my Bible? Because the Bible tells us, be angry but do not
Do not sin. Yes.
So there is nothing wrong with getting angry. What is wrong is when you sin as a result of being angry.
Yes.
And for that reason, as men, we need to be conscious of the fact that it is natural to get angry. You know, and everybody can get angry.
Yeah.
Yesterday night, I was so angry with my son. I can tell you.
Why? What
Because
happened?
the guy decided to mess me up.
What happened?
Which side now?
That aside. But obviously I did what I was supposed to do as a father. Yes. There is something we use in my house when such things happen to make sure that that does not happen again.
Is it the pastor?
Yes, the
pastor
small one.
boy.
The pastor boy. That one.
Pastor is misbehaving.
Yes.
Okay.
So, you know, somebody had required me to stamp their document. And so I carried my stamp with me to the house. And then I stamped the document for this person and then placed my stamp on the dining table.
Yes.
And then somebody calls me outside, so I walk out. By the time I come back, the young man has stamped his
All
hand
the
everywhere
document.
and all the other documents everywhere. And then the guy decides to go to the toilet to try and clean his hands of the ink. So he's
Because
taking,
he knew it was wrong.
that is the interpretation that
Yes.
I got.
Okay.
Obviously, when he locks himself in the toilet and he's taking all the hand wash, thinking that all the hand wash will clear the
And say it is not me. It is not me who did that one.
Unfortunately, now I came.
He was just being a baby.
He was yes. But I had to let him know, you don't do that again.
Yes.
Oh, I
But-
feel for him.
I did not sin. I can tell you I did
You
not
not
sin.
sin.
So,
Now Rubia Prince.
We've got to be real here. That it is natural to get annoyed.
Yeah.
But what we need to be careful about is we do not get annoyed to a point of sinning. And one of the ways that we've got to do that is by being self-aware. I mean, whatever we call self-awareness.
Yes. Yeah.
You got to be aware of who you are. You You got to be aware of your temperament. You got to realize that this is what drives me mad. This is what makes me feel like I want to explode. You know, you know some of the things that happen when people get annoyed. Some of us start shaking. You know, and the moment you start shaking, you can realize now I'm just about to lose my temper. You know, some of us start sweating. Somebody will begin to sweat. You know, all over. They're just seated, and the moment they start sweating, you can tell this guy is getting worked up. And the next thing that happens, you're going to experience what Kerry experienced at one point. You know? You know, you got to be aware of who you are. How does my body react to such? How does do my hormones respond? When I get annoyed, how do I feel? Am I the kind of a person who when gets annoyed, I stammer? The moment you're aware of that, you are able to control yourself and make sure that you do not get to the extremes. And that tells you that number 2, you need to have self-control, which is a fruit of the Spirit. Bible tells us that we should be self-controlled in all things, even in anger. We've got to be self-controlled. That I am the man in charge of myself. I am the man in charge of my feelings. I do not allow what I feel drive me wherever it wants to drive me. That I have got to be conscious that I can get annoyed, but up to a certain extent. And the moment that I feel that I am getting beyond that, then I tell myself, hey, Pastor Gigi, you got to be relaxed. Because that awareness and that consciousness is what prevents you from going overboard. Otherwise, if you allow yourself to be driven by your emotions, you will always find yourself sinning. So self-control is what helps you not to sin. Being self-aware is what makes you in charge of yourself. And number 3, I'd want also to say that because everybody that gets annoyed, you can actually tell the levels of I think you mentioned something like that last time, that there are levels of anger. You can tell the way it is progressing. You know, you can actually tell at what point do I lose my balance and I sin. And I do something stupid. And I break all the glasses in the house. You know, there are men that get annoyed just because their wives made food and it was over salty. And then they get all the plates or the cutlery and break them. And then you start wondering, now who is punishing who? You are the same man that is going to go back to the shop and to buy more cutlery. The same utensil that, oh, they are called utensil, not cutlery. Cutlery is what?
Is it cutlery?
Oh, you want cutlery.
Cutlery ni kijiko na uma.
Okay. You know, all the plates and the cups.
Yes.
You know, you wonder, why would you want to break them? Because it is you who bought and you're going back to buy them again. You know, you get annoyed because Man U has beaten I don't know who. You know, thank God the carrier is not here.
Yes.
Me and football.
You could have touched the live wire.
And then you break your TV, unahoga TV mateke. And just because your team has been beaten. And so you're so annoyed. Then you go back to the shop to buy another TV at the expense of Man U, as if Man U knew that you have actually killed your TV. You know? Yes, killed it.
Yes.
Now, you understand your process, the process that you go through. Because you can tell at what point do I lose my balance. And I always tell people, the moment you see this progression, I'm moving from just being agitated to getting my anger and I'm just about to lose my control, break that chain.
Wow.
Whatever it costs you, even if it means walking away. If somebody has made you annoyed and you feel like I'm just about to smash the head of this guy, just walk away.
Wow.
You better be called a coward. By that, you have broken the chain.
Thank you. I want also to get the take from Rev.
Yes.
And as you give us your take about this, I also want to, you know, there are some people who will justify themselves through the scriptures when they are talking or they are using bad language and they say even Jesus did this and this. When Jesus called some Pharisees blood of vipers,
Yes.
was he angry?
Was he angry or not angry? One thing that you realize is that Jesus was fond of using images, and images that would communicate the message that he needed communicated in the context in which he was. And therefore, there are certain things that Jesus said, and to the listeners then, in that environment and context, understood clearly what he said. You know, when he says, go tell that fox.
Yes.
But
And there are some people
in
now
our context,
who will have go
yes.
out there calling people.
So in our context,
Uh-huh.
it could mean something totally different. And therefore, whether Jesus was angry or not, I may not tell. But what I know is that the images that Jesus was using were contextual. You know, I am the true vine. You are the branches.
Yes.
You know, these are images that were contextual to that place.
He's not saying that you are a branch.
Yeah, so we must understand it from that context. And therefore, for us it may sound rude and like anger and the same. But when you go to their days, then and where he was, you may find that everybody who was listening to him understood clearly what he meant.
Yes.
And it was a commonly acceptable expression referring to those kind of people.
Yeah.
And also, the images would also bring out the strength, the reality of those things. So I would think Jesus was using an image.
Wow.
But now getting back to our discussion, and I think Reverend Gigi has really brought it very well. The issues of self-awareness are very key. You know, what we feed within us grows.
Yeah.
And what I would say is that when it comes to issues of anger, we must ask ourselves, what are we feeding ourselves with? They say that persistence wears out resistance. So if you're subjecting yourself to a situation that angers you every time, and they could be as easy things as you're saying, you know, watching football and people losing,
Yeah.
and you find you're losing your mind. So do you keep continuing watching football? The other day I was on a TV show on another different TV station, and a psychologist asked the question that if you're not a member of the family of people who've been involved in an accident, and you are not a first aider, and you are not helping them, why are you stopping your car to go and watch, you know, bodies strewn down and people injured? You are feeding yourself, and everything that you feed yourself
they
with,
are intercessors.
but you don't need to see dead bodies to intercede for them. You can intercede in your car as you head home. And I got an insight that we need to be very careful with what we are allowing inside us.
True.
Sometimes even the movies that we watch.
Yes.
You know, you're watching a movie and
You can't
there is
sleep that
anger
night.
all over.
Or
There's
you can't even
anger
sleep.
all over. Yes. You are watching this soap opera for, I don't know whether there are men who watch soap operas, but they could be there.
Yeah.
And in this soap opera, you find there is one guy that you hate with a passion.
Yes.
And what happens is, even if you are not a person who hates,
You start
hating.
developing
Yes.
that.
if you come and you fight Warui, and he behaves like the guy you hate,
Or he looks like
or he looks
like that guy. You start
and
hating
that
Warui.
guy, when he appears and acts, you get angry.
Yes.
You start getting angry with me.
Yes.
So, what are you feeding yourself with? You are in a group of men who you walk with, who you spend time with. But every time it's fits of anger,
Yeah.
anger.
Every time.
Every time is anger. So you need to be very careful what you're feeding yourself with, the groups you're involving yourself with, the influence you are allowing over your life. What are you watching? If every time I watch Manu playing with whoever else,
In Arsenal.
I don't watch football.
Yeah.
If every time you're watching them, you're getting angry, stop watching them.
Yeah.
Because the more you get angry, the more the anger takes over. And when everything takes over, then you lose control. And now it starts driving you. So very, very important for you to find what is this that makes me angry every time. If, by the way, you can even change your route. If you find that every time I use Kagudo Road,
Yes.
the vehicles on Kagudo Road are so rough,
Yes.
they keep annoying me.
Yes.
But if I take the bypass and use Thika Road,
Yes.
guys are organized and smooth.
Yes.
I will leave that route. I will not allow myself to stay in an environment.
So are you going to
that
shift
keeps inciting
from
me.
your place?
By the way, I can shift. If you have a neighbor who angers you in the morning, at lunchtime, in the evening, in the morning, when will you ever enjoy your home?
Yes. By the way, I know of a guy who sold his home
Yes, you can.
because of having
like
a neighbor who was Kizan.
when you rise up in the morning, not even rise up, they wake you up with anger. And
They literally wake you
Umelala
up.
tu,
They are not
literally-
calling you your name.
No.
They are not calling your name.
But they wake up
they
you
literally
and you wake up
you
angry.
Yes.
Ukitoka tu hapo nje vituko zile wamefanya,
Yes.
you get angry.
Yes.
ukikutana nao kwa barabara vile wanakuti you get angry. Yes, I can move.
Yes.
Because I need peace for my life.
Yes.
And therefore, you need to identify, am I in an environment that is nurturing anger within me? And how can I deal with this? The second thing that I must say is that you must be able to identify when you need help. Because there are times when you need help.
Yes.
There are times when that every time you get angry, then you do things, and then later on you're like, what did I do? You need to get help.
Yes.
Help. You need to go. You need to talk to someone. Sometimes even professional help. You need to go to a counselor and tell them, I think I'm struggling with anger.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting angry even with my 3-month-old baby.
I told you the other day there are men who get angry with dogs and cats.
Yes.
Cats.
Yeah. A cat in
Unainua
a
teke.
But why would you get annoyed with a cat? What has it done to
You need help. You need
so to
help.
me, that is projection of your anger to the wrong place.
It's possible.
Because kama mmekosana na bibi yako, unaongea mbwa nini?
Yeah, and you have a very key point there. You
Yes.
have a very key point there. That you must identify the source.
Exactly.
Of your anger.
Of your
Because some of us
Because
leave the
sometimes
office
we transfer,
angry. Yes.
we transfer our angers.
Yes.
I am leaving studio.
Yes.
And as we are walking out,
Yeah.
tumekosana na Gigi.
Then
I take anger to jail.
makasiriko. I think it's very, very important.
Yes.
And I think what is important there is dealing with issues promptly.
Yes.
Because when you project anger on different people from the ones who provoked you, it is because you have crossed up. You have crossed up. You know, a matatu guy angered you.
Yes.
Sometimes you better shout in your car on. Na ufunge vioo.
I do.
Oh, you do. Car, you know, you just shout in your car and you let it out.
Yes.
Let it out. So
It is
by the,
very
time
healthy.
by the time you're getting in the office, you have dealt with it.
Yes.
But somebody angers you on the road, you bottle it up. You get into the office, somebody does
Unaiweka.
something, you bottle it up. Somebody does, you bottle it up.
Jioni.
You are on the road again, you bottle it up. Then ukifika kwa mrango, mtoto hata anakuja kukuhug.
Daddy wa nani?
Because
you
you
already
can't
feel
things, you
that.
never dealt with them.
Yes.
Yeah, so you must find an amicable way of promptly. The key word is promptly dealing with provocation.
Yes.
That a colleague has said something that has angered me. I don't need to keep quiet.
Yes.
I need to, in a wise way, by the help of God, let them know, na hapa huku nisho vipoa. Umeniongelesha vibaya. You may find the colleague will just say, oh, sikujua pole.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Na inaishia hapo.
And you're sorted.
Lakini sasa ungenyamaza nayo kwa roho, jioni utaenda kupelekea mtoto wako nyumbani. So
wiki.
promptly deal with these issues.
True.
Yeah, if you anger me here, nakwambia hapo
tumaliziane
hapo
hapa.
ili hapana.
Tumaliziane
hapo ili
hapa.
hapana, haiwezi kuwa
I
hivyo.
agree.
Before you move, you know you said you close your windows in the car and shout.
Scream.
And scream. I hope it doesn't go beyond that. I hope you don't call out names.
No.
Because there are people that they get annoyed and provoked by other drivers, and their work is to call them names. And
Yeah.
the person they are calling names has already speeded off.
Yes.
They are
They
going.
can't hear. They can't hear.
Yeah.
You know, that is my concern.
I got deliverance from that.
No, I'm saying
through
you're
the
dealing with self.
Through the help of my wife.
Yes.
Because I used to make unanikata hivi. I go making noise and my wife is like,
This guy can't even
"Sweetheart,
hear.
Yeah.
this guy is gone.
He's gone. So
So you are
the wrong
making
person.
But you know what I've realized?
Actually, you're hurting yourself.
What I've realized
You are
is,
making noise to us.
hiyo kukatwa tunakatagwa, hata sisi tunakatanaga.
That is the truth.
That is what I realized.
That is
That the things that the things that annoy us, and you know that is very true.
Yes.
And it happens even in children. If you have a negative trait,
Yeah.
and you start seeing it in your child, you start getting angry, but your anger is not because of the child. It is because you
can
hate
see
that
it
thing
in
in yourself.
you. Yes.
So you start getting angry with the kid.
Yes.
But you're getting angry with the kid because you hate that trait in you.
Yes. Yes.
Actually, you are seeing
So
yourself in
dealing,
your
I
children.
think you have to deal with yourself.
Wow.
We really have to deal
We
with
really have to deal with ourselves.
And there's something you talked about self-control.
Yes.
And there are times you'll find, especially to couples, maybe your wife have said something to you, and you're feeling, if I answer you the way I am feeling,
Yes.
I am full of anger.
Yes.
If I answer you, if I speak my mind right now, I am going to
Hii nyumba italipuka.
italipuka. And so I decide I will keep quiet and
Yes.
just take a walk.
Yes.
And my wife just says, look at this man, how rude he is.
He's
But
walking
you-
away from me.
Yes, but
He's walking
you
out
are
of me.
trying to control the anger in
That is
you.
in you. Yes.
How do you handle that?
You see, some of these things, number one, have got to do with our temperaments. And I think you discussed about temperaments
Yeah.
last Monday. You got to be aware who you are.
Yes.
You know? And honestly, I'm that kind of a person you're describing here.
Yeah, yes.
And my wife will tell you that when I am angry, she wants us to talk and I refuse to talk. Because I would rather keep quiet than say a word that I will regret that I said it 10 years from today.
Yes.
I would rather not say a word. You know, when we were being done premarital counseling, the pastor was telling us, taking us through counseling, was telling us, you take a gulp of water and walk with it so that you don't say that word. And for me, as a melancholic man, I will tell you I would do that quite often until I am sure. Thank God, God has helped me to deal with myself. And, you know, it takes me a lot of energy to get me annoyed. But the moment I am worked up, I become that person that you will regret. So, for me, the easiest way is when I feel things are getting rough and tough, I would rather not talk. I would rather come and deal with the issues ulikata kuniongelesha than the issues of you told me this.
Yeah.
And 10 years from today, she will quote me that you told me that you're going to cut off my head.
Yes.
You know? I don't want to be taken to committee
Yes.
because I am being told that I wanted to kill somebody's daughter. You know, for me, the most important thing is understand your temperament.
Yes.
Understand who you are. Understand your emotions. How do I respond? If I'm going to say a word that is going to make somebody else beat me up the way Simon was beaten, I don't want that. Yes?
Simon Gay.
Yes. You decided to miss the show. Yeah? You know, for me, I would rather you keep quiet. But when now you've calmed down, now address the issues.
Yes.
If it means taking a walk, just walk away. For me, if I'm annoyed, I'll get into my car and drive off. I'm only being honest. I will drive to nowhere. Drive to Thika, make a U-turn at Blue Post, and drive back.
Yes.
By the time I am driving, this is crazy, and I know the people in studio will not believe this. I will put so loud music that people will think is a teenager inside the car.
Yes.
And I close my windows. That music, by the time is bombarding me everywhere, by the time I've come back, I've steamed off.
Wow.
Then I'll get to bed and simply sleep. Don't try to talk to me. That way, I have avoided that conflict that would have resulted into our situation.
Yes.
Now when I'm in charge of myself and when I feel that my emotions are stable, let's now put the issue on the table and discuss it.
Yes.
That way I'll avoid sinning. But if I am the kind of a person mwenye anachochewa kidogo and then we
Anawaka.
start tunaanza
Anawaka.
kuwaka. You know, there's a story that says that there's a couple that got married. And I think it's Pastor Warui who gave us that story a long time ago. There's a couple that used to have conflict. And every time they had conflict, for the first year, the wife would keep on talking and the guy would keep quiet. And the wife would keep on talking and the guy keeps quiet. Every time there's conflict, the wife is the guy is keeping quiet. Then after some time, the guy felt, now I have swallowed too much.
Yes.
I can't keep quiet again. So what does he do? The second year, when the conflict comes, the guy now starts hitting back. So the wife is like, now for the sake of the family, let me. So the guy hits back. The third year, both of them were getting worked up and both of them were now shouting at each other and the neighbors were listening. You know, I tell you guys, instead of getting to such, have a way that you can contain your emotions. You would rather be accused of not doing it the way your spouse expected, but come and correct that rather than do something that is worse.
Yes.
I've had guys tell me, please, if my wife continued doing this, I am going to do something that will land me in jail. And he knows. He knows very well that he's getting worked up.
And
you know,
see, when such a man is talking, you realize it is not him.
yes,
who is
it is the anger, it is
anger
the
in him.
emotion
Yes.
that is at work. Because ordinarily this man will not do anything bad. But instead of getting there, I would rather that you move away, get yourself calm. If you need to go and take a drink, go. And of course, carefully drink drink carefully, not alcohol, because it will make you now do silly things.
Yes.
But if you need to go and take nyama, go and do nyama, whatever it takes you to. Yes. Or if you feel like doing karate, please go. But be in charge of yourself. Don't allow your emotions or the emotions being provoked from your spouse make you do things that you will regret.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you. So, women, I know there are ladies who are watching us. Kindly, when you see that man, maybe he has been provoked and he has decided to walk away. Don't think that he's rude. Don't think that he's
Let him
arrogant.
walk away.
Let him walk. Unajua kuna wengine wanamfuata kwa gate. Oka, kama ni mwanaume.
Mpaka unachukua kubaya gari.
Kuja kama ni mwanaume.
Unaenda kwa hiyo.
Wewe mwoga, kuja.
No.
Unapaka unamfuata.
That is a wise man.
Yes.
That's a wise man.
He's a wise man. Let him go.
Yes.
And then he'll come back.
Yeah.
And of course, you have time and you'll be able to solve that issue. Yes, and I want us to read some comments. You can see there are quite a number of people who have joined us tonight. And asanteni sana for joining us. Samikan GA, waiting strongly. Strongly. Thank you very much, Samikan. Stephen Mureithi tuned in. Thank you. Christopher Gekonyo tuned in. Kelvin Jema, get the child the best school you can. We don't give up. Thank you very much. Yes, wenye wameanguka, tafutia watoto shule mzuri. Samuel Gadora tuned in. Mary Bernard, nimefika. Amefika, asante sana. Dennis Njoroge tuned. Kelvin Jema, some of our children stray away looking for what we have denied them. Okay.
Very true.
Kelvin Jema, good stuff. Maggie Joy Blessings, asante sana, watching from Kajiado. Thank you, Maggie Joy Blessings, for joining us tonight. And you're saying that this is an awesome discussion. Thank you. Dennis Njoroge, watching from Limuru. Thank you. Kagushia Dhuku, watching. Thank you. Dennis Njoroge is wowing. You change your route. Kama kavuka kuna shida.
Yes, kama wanakukasirisha kila wakati.
Change your route.
Hata kwenye uko na raha.
Yeah, na Mary Bernard kuna comment hapa anasema kumkumbagia.
Nini hiyo?
Zile vitu ulikuwa unasema watu wana watch.
Alia.
Na sasa sijui kama zinawachiwa kwako.
Si uso ndio kusoma.
Kumkumbagia. Alia mistreating Pragia was enough to make me mad. Sasa hii kuna
Maliza kusoma. Maliza kusoma. What is up? Man.
You can't imagine how I felt. I'm delivered now. Hallelujah.
Hey.
I no longer want
Aliwekewa mikono.
Praise the Lord. Hey, deliverance is taking place.
Yes,
Thank
in
you,
my
thank
house.
you very
I tell
much.
you, man.
Oh, we thank God. Then we have Dennis Njoroge saying, identify the source of your anger. That is very true. And our very own Simon K. Anasema, very nice conversation. Thank you. We are missing you. You guys are doing a great job. I miss you guys. We miss you too. Thank you very much. Lucy Lepore, sure, helpful discussion. Simon K, you are missing here. You are missing, my guy. Bloody. Soma hiyo. Bloody.
Bloody chic.
I knew you'll miss it.
How do you read bloody chicks? Chic. Chicks.
Sawa. Leave it.
Thank you, Bloody, for joining us.
Yes. And Mary Paul watching, understanding someone's temperaments is very key.
Yes.
And where is it dark
skin girl?
Yes. Where is dark?
Yeah, we have some fun who are missing out.
Yes,
so.
dark skin girl.
Kevin Jema, wherever you are, brown what boy?
Dark skin.
Brown
yes,
skin boy.
Dark skin
Please
boy.
call for us the dark skin girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I want us to continue with this discussion.
Yes.
And I want to ask, then, what is sinful anger?
Sinful anger is any form of anger that leads you to sin. You know, anger in itself, you know, it's an emotion. And emotions have got no ability to make us sin until such a point that we allow ourselves to take an action. The sin now becomes, or the sin comes in when you now have taken an action because of your anger. Remember, anger is an emotion, it's a feeling that is inside you.
Yeah.
If I feel like hating you, until I hate you, I have not sinned. Even if I feel like. It's just like you know, in this talk we talk candid. It's just like you go out there and see a beautiful woman and wish you would follow her. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong.
Until the
But if you follow her, now that is when the problem comes.
Yes, follow her. That is where the sin comes.
But having that thing in your mind, I wish I can follow her. You're saying it is not a sin.
It is not sin.
It's not.
Eh?
It is not sin.
Why are you looking?
No, look at me.
But you're also looking at me. So what? Where are you? He is the one who is answering the question. You are facing me. Where is the problem? You are appreciating God's creation.
Yes, that is it.
Yes.
So,
But appreciate God's creation, give Him thanks, and continue with your journey.
Amen.
and
Yes.
continue. You know, so for me, what is sinful anger is when you have taken an action upon your anger that makes now something wrong. That becomes now, it is either against the law of God or against the law that we have been set for in this nation. So sinful anger simply means when you do something that should not be done just because of your anger. As long as the anger is contained inside you, there is nothing wrong with that. And that is why Jesus says that be angry but do not sin.
Yes.
And he says, and I think Reverend expounded on this last time, that do not let the sun go down while you're still angry.
Yeah.
Because you're now brooding, you're planning how you're going to do something, something bad.
Yeah.
Of course, I've gotten angry enough times, even, you know, on the road. I like talking about the road because that's why I am many times. And the
all
roads
of us
can be a very big, bad temptation.
All of us.
You know, and you know, just like some time back, I'm driving, and there's this guy that is driving in front of me, and then I want to overtake him. So when I want to overtake him, he now realizes that, hey, I have a chance to compete. So akaanza. So I'm trying to accelerate so that I overtake him before the car that is coming across gets where I am. And so I realize this guy is competing with me. So what do? I accelerate further so that nikuwe nimeingia.
Yes.
And then when I did that, I realized this guy now want to overtake me from the opposite side. So what did I do? I just parked the car by the road. I just swerved way off. And then I parked the car. I realized this guy has issues. So nikaona jamaa amekuja, he stopped right opposite where I am. And then he started talking. Quickly, I rolled up my window. And I said, you talk until you're tired. When you're tired of talking, because I can't hear, you go wherever you are going. Because we were not going to the same place. I was only overtaking because I am a fast driver.
Yeah.
And you are not speeding. Why do you want to speed now that I have started speeding up? We are not competing.
Yeah.
You see, if now I took an action beyond that, it would have become confrontational. Of course, for the first time, I wished I had a gun. I will be very honest. I wished I had a gun in the car.
I said that last Monday.
Mungu atusaidie.
I
We will
wished
be
I
very
was a
careful.
policeman.
Be very careful on this show.
I said that last Monday.
I wished I was a policeman.
And you
I
had
would
a
have
gun.
gotten out of the car, removed my identity, and get hold of the guy and put him in my boot and drive him to the police station.
Yes.
But then I kept on telling God, God, please help me not to say a word. Because that time, I was actually now vibrating like a charged particle. You know, whatever we call ions in the lab. I was vibrating because I'm wondering, why does this guy provoke me this much?
Yes.
You know, if I took an extra one step, I would have sinned.
Wow.
Thank God, I stood there. The guy talked for like almost 1 minute. And I'm just there, looking at him head on, but saying nothing. Thank God, I can't hear what he's saying.
Yes.
Then he drove off. I said,
You know,
thank you, Jesus.
this reminds me of a pastor who used to, akikatwa anakatana, mee sasa, haku anakuacha hivyo, kuta shetani.
Okay.
So one day, there's this makanga he called Shetani. And then one day he attended the service where he was preaching.
Oh my goodness.
And that is when he received his deliverance.
Oh
Because
no.
this makanga said, kuna siku uliniita Shetani.
Yes.
Yes.
So, sinful anger is any anger that leads you to sin.
Yes.
But every anger has no power in sin, I mean to become sin, provided you don't allow it to become.
I want to bring in Rev Bernard.
Unanilenga sana.
Nakuleta hapa.
Unanileta hapo unanilenga.
We said wacha siasa wewe. Kwani uko na aga?
Nitabia viewers waseme.
We said
Yes.
getting angry is not sin,
Yes.
then as a Christian, how should I get angry?
How should you get angry? Of course, one thing, and going back to the verse that he has said, because many people have always confused that do not let the sun go down on your anger. Many people have, and even in marriages, people have messed up marriages, believing that that word means that you must resolve the issue. The Bible does not say you resolve the issue.
Yes.
Because sometimes when you try to resolve the issue at that time,
More issues arise.
Biblia inasema, deal with your anger. Don't let the sun go down when you are still angry.
Yes.
It does not say that don't let the sun go down when you have not solved the issue.
Yes.
So the sun can go down before you solve the issue, waiting for an amicable time.
Yes.
But the Bible is saying, get angry, but before the sun go down, it is simply saying, don't be angry for too long.
Yes.
Mtu anakasirika siku mbili, siku tatu.
Mnakaa kwa nyumba
No,
moja
don't
na
be angry for
mkopeshani.
kasirika kidogo. After 2 minutes, mwambie my dear na hapo, mpatie kahag. Alafu maisha iendelee. The Bible is simply saying, don't be angry for too long.
Yes.
It's about anger. How should a Christian get angry? One thing that I must say is that anger is a choice that one makes. And there is something that I call, and I talk about it many times, and I think I've talked about it here, anticipatory preparation, where you anticipate a situation and you prepare how you will respond to that situation in case it occurs. I have said many times two things. One, you never buy an ambulance when the leg has broken.
Yeah.
You buy an ambulance before. You don't buy a firefighter when the house is already going down with the frames.
Yes.
You buy an ambulance before. It is important as you take your journey of self-awareness to do anticipatory preparation, to anticipate what could happen. I know I'm a neat guy. I like shoes arranged in a certain way, but I could get home and find they're not arranged in a certain way. If I find those shoes are not arranged in the way that I expected, what ought to be my response? Should I shout? Should I ask questions? Or should I pick the shoes and just place them where they should be and get into the house? So anticipate situations that could make you angry and meditatively make a conclusion on how you respond. When I'm going to work and I know who my boss is and I know how my boss behaves and thinks, then there are things I would expect he might say to me.
Yeah.
He might throw harsh words. He might let me prepare myself earlier before that happens.
Wow.
So that the moment I get into the office and he throws a harsh word on me, it doesn't catch me by surprise. If I'm driving on the road and this driver cuts me, there are people who are asking, they don't know how a vehicle cuts. And this driver cuts ahead of me.
Yes.
Then I must prepare my mind. How will I respond to that situation? If I go home and my wife, you know, there are times they just come. There are times they just
I
come.
understand.
Because they are women.
Yes,
I
or
understand.
it's because they are women.
Yes.
So I must anticipate that. That if I go home and she shouts and she says this, I had already planned before. Because if you're caught off guard, that is when now your anger goes off. That is when your heart extends itself, and instead of laying for deliverance, smacks.
Yes.
You know, the other day they were smacking on TV,
Yes.
on live TV.
Yes.
So anticipate and prepare yourself as a believer that I have no control over the things that happen externally, but I have control on how I respond. And therefore, if I come to this show and you say something that is annoying, how will I respond to that? That becomes, so do that anticipatory preparation. And what I was saying is that it is a choice you make.
Yeah.
I can make a choice to get annoyed, angry, or I can make a choice not to get angry.
Wow.
He made a choice to roll up his windows and stop there. That is a choice that he made. I can get home, and you know, and I've always told people, many things that make us, because one of the things that is key is that the people who make us very angry are people who we love.
Yes.
Are people whom we care about, and are people we believe they love us. The other thing that I've realized is that many things that make us angry, because if a stranger there, I'll get angry 2 minutes, and then he goes and I don't know, then is many things that make us angry are not things that were intended to make us angry. So my wife comes and does something, she never intended to make me angry, but my interpretation that it should not have been done makes me angry. And so what I tell people is, don't pay so much attention to the action. Look for the heart.
Yeah.
Look for the heart. Did this person intentionally do this to anger me?
Yes.
Did they leave those socks there
Yeah.
to anger me? Did they say those words to anger me? Did they forget something I had told them to do? If I'm able to search their heart and I realize that they did not do that to anger me, there's even no case there.
Yeah. And actually, as you're saying that, what comes to my mind now is that we need to have that effective communication.
Yeah,
Yes.
That
exactly.
I need to clarify what I am saying.
Yeah.
If I see there's something I've said and my wife have not understood,
Yes.
I clarify to her
Very
before
important.
she misinterprets what
Yes.
I was saying.
And what I've always told people is that don't make assumptions. Seek clarity. Yes, the other person has
Don't
a duty
jump
to
into
clarify.
conclusions.
Don't jump into conclusion.
Conclusion, not conclusion.
Don't jump into conclusions.
Yes.
Seek clarity. Seek clarity. And when you seek clarity, because what happens is, there are two ways of approaching someone whom you believe has done something wrong to you. One is what I call the sword approach. The sword approach is where you approach them angry and demanding compensation. Like, why would you, you know? But you can also use another method.
Yeah.
Especially for people that we love. That method is the warm embrace. That yes, I'm angry. Yes, you've done something wrong to me, but I want to understand you. I'm angry at the event. I'm not angry with you as a person.
Yes.
And therefore, you've done something wrong, but I'm welcoming. My embrace is open. And that is how we even should punish our children. I love my youngest girl. My youngest girl, if she does something, and I rebuke her, or I tune her, or I take her slippers, what she will not go cry, she will come cry on my chest. So you will tell her, and then after telling her, she will come hold you and start crying on your chest.
Yes.
I should never throw her off from that chest. Yes. So what you have done has angered me, but I'm giving you an embrace.
Yes.
So when you approach with a sword, what people do is that they build a wall.
Yes.
If I realize that the way you have approached me is aggressive, and so I will build a wall.
Yeah.
I'll not explain anything, I'll also become aggressive. But if you come and tell me, you've done something and it has really angered me, and I hear warmth from your voice and love, I'll open up and say, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't know that would anger you. So
I
how you
didn't
approach
mean
is
to
very...
hurt you.
So you ask, as a Christian, get angry, but approach the... mtu mwenye amekasirisha mtu anataka nani? The angarara.
Maybe offender.
The offender.
Yeah.
Oh! Najua nyinyi mlisoma, me I'm an accountant. Me I. So unasikia na vile.
Me I.
So how you approach the offender. And there's something that I've realized, that if you are kind, if you are loving, if you are humble, it's very hard even for the cruel of people to resist that.
Wow.
That somebody has done something huge and they know they have angered you, but you're like humble. I remember one time going to somebody and telling them, I'm sorry that when you offended me, I got angry. Unamshida huyo mtu.
Yes, sasa si ni ile Peter anasema kuwekelea mtu makaa hapa.
Yes, like I'm sorry because when you did 1, 2, and 3, which really offended me, I got angry with you. So I'm sorry.
Wow.
So the other person has no... There is a kind of approach that you take,
That
and
is
you
banning.
conquer,
That
and
is
you
banning
conquer
that
the other
man.
person. Yes.
Yes.
But there's an approach that you take, and you give them justification for them even to do more angering things.
Yes, yes. And I'm told that our time is up. But I want to give each and every one of you 2 minutes, 2 minutes, because again, we need to look at the solution of this thing. So, what can we do to control anger?
I think we've said so many things, and I actually thought you were saying that we finish up, and I wanted to tell you, let me just say one thing, and I only want to say one. Because we are Christians. This is a Christian show, and we believe in God and the supernatural power of the Holy Spirit that enables us to do those things that naturally we are not able to do. I needed to say that as you get angry, please pray about it. Prayer is so powerful that it can change anything. Some of us that are not able to control ourselves, we only need to mention that before God continuously and consistently. And as we continue in prayer, you will realize that your anger levels keep on growing colder and colder, and you become more accommodative. I needed to tell men out there, please, if you find that you have an issue about anger, pray about it. God will help us as we continue to do that. And of course, as Reverend Warui has said, if somebody annoys you, it's good to speak it out. Don't keep it to yourself forever. Even if you walk away, look for an amicable time when you can speak it out and come and tell me, Pastor Gigi, you offended me, in a very quiet and calm way. Bible says love covers a multitude of sin. The moment you tell me that I offended you, most probably I'll avoid doing that which offended you next time. And that way, we will be able to walk. So I needed to say those two things, that we need to pray and we need to speak to one another, not shouting and not fighting back. Yes.
Wow. What can we do to control anger?
Yeah, I'll finish by saying seeking help is not weakness. And I've seen somebody who have asked a question that if you have someone who does not accept their mistake, it is always wise to get a third party opinion. Do you have someone that you trust, whether a mentor, a pastor, all such people? What these people provide are two things. They provide a controlled environment where you can discuss issues without jumping onto each other. When me and my wife have things that we feel will bring about a heated argument that we cannot control, then we get a third party. We go to our mentors and we sit with them. When we sit with them, they don't have to say much. We can talk to each other. But their presence provides a controlled environment where the scientists will look like a laboratory. It provides a controlled environment where, because of them and the respect and honor I have for them, I'll be very moderate with my words. And I'll be honest. You know, sometimes in an argument, people refuse to be honest. You know what this other person is saying is the truth, but you are refusing to be honest. And you want to make them feel guilty. But in the presence of these people, so it's good to seek help. It's good to have mentors you're working with. It's good to have a pastor who can help you. The second thing that the third party does is that they give a third perspective of what, you know, like this guy who is asking the question, you might be feeling I'm the one who is right. This one is refusing to accept their mistake. But when you go and a third party listens to both of you, they might give you a perspective that you never had. And you start realizing, could I'm the one who have always been on the wrong, but I've always thought this one is the one who is on the wrong. So what I would advise him is seek help. It's not weakness to seek help. It's not weakness to say that me and my wife, we have not been able to resolve this. Let us go to a mentor. Let us go to a pastor. Let us go to a counselor. Let them help us solve this issue. It is not weakness to seek help. Yes.
Thank you, gentlemen, for coming tonight. And thank you for speaking out your mind. And I want to end this by reading James 3:5. The Bible says, the tongue is like that too. It is a very small part of the body, but it talks about big things. A very small fire can cause a big forest to burn. So, watch out your tongue. When you're angry, what comes out of your mouth? Do you allow your tongue to speak negative things? And I pray that the Lord will help us all, I included, that even in that time that I am angry, that my tongue will still speak positive things. I will not allow my tongue to speak negative things because I am angry. When you are angry to your wife, when you are angry to your husband, angry to your children, do not respond by throwing in negative words. Let us watch the words that we speak from our mouth. And that marks to the end of our show tonight. And thank you very much for all those who have joined us. Asanteni sana. We really thank God for you and we love you. We appreciate you. We appreciate your warmth. You know, it is one thing to have this show. It is another having you there. I mean, if we come here and we don't have people who are watching us, who feel discouraged. So every Monday, make a date with us, and coming Monday will be right here from 8 p.m. as we continue manning the city gate. This is the show where we talk about the real issues that affects the real men in the real world. My name is Willie Kinyash, and I was with
Bernard Warui.
And Reverend Gigi.
Yes. For now we say good night, God bless you, and we love you. Tuonane Monday.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, kwaheri.